Hello, this is a reading for October 1st, Monday. The sun is now in the second week of Libra, and in the second week of Libra, we have the Two of Swords. So you can see swords and air represent the mind and concepts of the mind and the way that we believe and think and how our mind actually is a tool and a servant to our body and our heart. And so over the weekends, our moon moved through Gemini, and we got to revisit some of the beliefs that we had for ourselves, that we've been living our life by, some of the rules of living. And hopefully some of those became really clear to you and you had a drop of your delusions. That could have come up as just recognizing that sometimes you use your mind to keep you from feeling hard feelings. Sometimes you can rationalize things that keep you from seeing the truth of your circumstances. And so hopefully that this past weekend was good for you. It feels like a lot of emotional things came up for a lot of people that I've talked to. And sometimes our minds get stronger when we feel emotions because that's what our mind does. It helps us protect ourselves from having to feel hard things. But today, Monday, the moon will be finishing its transit through Gemini, and the final stages of Gemini are the court cards of the swords. And so the Father of Swords, or the King of Swords, is really a character who has a strong grasp on how he uses his mind, is responsible with his communication, and is able to really get in touch with that part of himself that understands the way that things work, the way that the mind works, the way that our beliefs can affect our reality. But very, very quickly into the day, the moon will move into Cancer. And with Cancer, it's interesting. This past year, when the sun was transiting through Cancer, there was a lot of stuff going on in the media that was bringing up personal, vulnerable feelings. For most people I talked to, they were feeling really vulnerable about children victims. And it felt like it was bringing up issues of memory and feelings of when we as children were subject to things that were not fair, subject to confusion, actions of adults that didn't make a lot of sense to our child self. And we saw that play out in the media. And so it's interesting that this week, as our moon moves through Cancer, we are also facing some stories in the media. And this time I feel that it's really getting into our memories of the past, our past actions, our past emotional stories, experiences that were maybe painful, that we hadn't thought of for a long time. And so today might be, this next couple of days might be kind of emotional. And the thing that's interesting about emotions, and especially in a time that's more characterized by the strength of the mind, when we feel strong emotion, we might have a tendency to use the mind to make those feelings less. We might have coping mechanisms that keep us from really dropping into those feelings, and it might just surface more as like aggressive driving, or like needing more coffee, or wanting to comfort yourself with food. We have a tendency to be, when the moon's in Cancer, or when anything's really transiting through Cancer, to want to help lessen the emotional intensity of what we could possibly be feeling. And we could even busy ourselves or distract ourselves with social media or anything like that. So this week, I would like to bring to your attention and just extend the question of, if you did slow down, and if you did sink back into yourself, and if you did really allow yourself to feel, what kinds of things would come up for you? You know, it's real easy, easier emotion sometimes to feel is anger and or blame or just like thinking that you had too much caffeine, you need to like chill out or eat some food or drink more coffee or whatever. Tiredness could come up, all of these things, just irritability if we're not actually tending to our deep emotional needs. And when I say deep emotional needs, usually that's just letting yourself be okay with feeling, like letting yourself cry or letting yourself reminisce. You know, sad feelings are not bad. Vulnerable feelings are not bad. Feeling like something from your past wasn't awesome, and just kind of mourning that, or even recognizing that a big cycle in your life has changed. It's not bad to feel what that feels like, and the more that you do that, the more fully your body will trust you and allow you to really be present in your life with the people in your world and in your relationships. So the card for those early degrees of Cancer is the Ace of Cups. And really, I think that if you just let yourself today slow down and actually take stock of what it is you're trying to comfort yourself around, and just really recognize, you know, we're inside, we've all been children. Like, we've all done stupid stuff, and we've all misunderstood each other and made some mistakes. And it's really important right now to just have some self-compassion and just love. I mean, I think that stepping into that can really open our hearts today. And I wrote in my Lunascope this week that the real thing that we're meaning to balance in our lives right now is that conversation and balance between our minds and our heart, and that we're really having an opportunity to build a sense of trust, a deep inner trust with ourselves by honoring that internal voice and the emotional language of the body. Because really, that's the way our body speaks to us. We can try to quiet the language of the body, and we can pretend that it's not important or try to muscle through it. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think that that's what we really are needing to come to as a human consciousness, is honoring the voice of the body and honoring the emotions that we feel, so that our minds can be strong protectors from a place of knowing what it's actually protecting, what's actually happening, that there is a vulnerability within us that the mind actually has a role in serving. And so play around with that in your life. The moon will be in Cancer for the next couple of days, and it's just a really beautiful opportunity to create a union within yourself. And I guarantee that any union you have with other people is going to stem from the depth of the union you have with yourself. So I hope that finds you well, and I hope you have a great Monday. Talk to you soon. Bye.